Just a few months ago, things looked very dark for Manchester United, but now they've got a lot to look forward to. There's a lot coming next season, and in today's video, we're going to break down why Manchester United fans potentially have lots to be excited about. Now, first of all, let's start with this summer window. Hit, 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 and hit. All four signings are looking like hits. 4 for 4, which is very, very rare when it comes to Manchester United, because I do think we are one of the worst teams in football when it comes to transfer business. So the fact that all of our players have been hits are good. I think Mbeumo and Cunha felt Premier League proven was probably going to be a hit. Sesko was one that was going to take time, but there was a very good player there, and we're starting to see it, especially now Amarin's left and we're playing a bit more attacking football. Sesko's really come on in 2026. Le Mans is looking like the deal of the season in terms of pound for pound. The improvement he is on Onana as well is massive. And I remember this tweet from Sully that I shared a few days ago, and he said this: one man who deserves the utmost praise is Vivel. It's almost impossible to go 100% when it comes to transfers, but this man, along with the recruitment team, have seemingly managed to go 4 for 4. Now, why does that make me excited? Why does it make me feel like something could happen at Man United next season? And that is because we've got the transfers right this summer that I'm kind of trusting the scouts and Vivel to get it right next summer. And hearing our plans for next summer and hearing about some of the young players that could get opportunities next summer, I'm getting excited. Now, of course, the PR spin. Manchester United, Glazers, Ratcliffe, Ineos, Glinios, whatever you're going to call them, they love a PR spin. They love putting out stories that we're going to spend this and we're going to sign this and we're going to do this. And it's PR, it's distraction. Because there was a Glazer out protest versus Fulham. They're loving that we're winning games and that they can use sort of Carrick to write loads of positive stories and distract us. Of course, no matter what happens, Glazer's out, Ineos out. Of course, we've got to remember that some news is sometimes a PR spin. But Manchester United are planning around 4 to 5 signings this summer, 4 to 5 big signings, hopefully 4 to 5 hits. That could take the team up another level. And one thing that will be massive in achieving this is UCL football. 100 million boost if we get it. We can play higher wages, and we're just more of an attractive club to come to if we have UCL football. Chelsea face Arsenal at the weekend. We could actually change the gap between 4th and 6th to 6 points. Now, 5th place should get Champions League football unless every single English club loses their next game in the knockouts of the European trophies. 5th place should be enough for Champions League football when it comes to the Premier League. So what is interesting about this is, as of now, there's a feeling that United will get Champions League football, but you just don't know if Casemiro gets injured, if Bruno gets injured, things can change. And that gives us a 100 million boost. That makes us more attractive. Which brings me to what Jamie O'Hara had to say. I don't think Man United are a million miles away from winning the Premier League, is what he said. Now, to be honest, I don't think we're going to win the Premier League next season. I don't think it's going to be that good next season. But I think there's a base there. I think there's enough good players there to build around. But until I know who the manager is, until I know if we do enough in the summer, because in the summer I think we need 5-6 signings so we have the depth to compete in Europe. I think as soon as we go back to playing 2 games a week, we may struggle in the Premier League. Until we have the depth, until we know who the manager is, I'm not going to get carried away with that. But are Man United actually closer than we think to having something special? So this is sort of our current options with everybody fit. Obviously, we do lack on the left wing. I've sort of put Dorgu there at left back. This is what I believe would be our strongest squad with everybody fit. You can argue you could put Ahmad in there, blah, blah, blah. But that is what we currently have. And that's decent. And I think, with 1 game a week, that is decent. There's no real cover for Casemiro. There's no real left winger. But that is a pretty solid squad. Particularly with 1 game a week. The question is, that squad wouldn't handle 2 games a week, especially when Mount barely can stay fit. Casemiro is going to go. Bruno, he could go. That would be a massive blow. But this squad could handle it. Now, this is ambitious. I'm not saying we're going to sign these players, okay? But I'm just saying, if we did pull off Kvaratskhelia, who I think PSG could sell, we ended up pulling off Tonali, which would be a huge deal. Again, I don't think we're going to get Tonali. Mateus Fernandes, Sanjay Virgin, I've gone with Juve of West Ham as the left back. If we ended up pulling off 5 signings, now I'm not saying it's going to be these signings, we could get Njai, we could go and get Nathaniel Brown at left back, we could get Elliot Anderson, but I'm thinking if we sign 3 midfielders, a left wing and a left back, and we keep Harry Maguire and we bring Vertet back from loan to be our backup keeper, I think that is a squad that's capable of winning something at least. Something at least. Depends who the manager is, of course, and many things. So this brings me to what Man United want to do this summer. Because look, I don't expect this to be realistic. I don't expect us to do this. And I'm also bringing in the youth. You could even throw Jim Thwaites and Sako Kone in the midfield for the youth. But I brought Lacey and JJ Gabriel in as potential players that could get minutes next season, especially if Carrick stays because he watches a lot of the youth. But what do Man United want to do this summer? So it's been said by credible reports that United want a versatile fullback, either a left back that can play left wing or a left back that can play left centre back. Now, I think considering Luke Shaw is staying, I think considering Maguire will probably sign a new deal, I want a left back that can play left wing. I want a left back that can hold the width and overlap, because Cunha's not an out-and-out left winger, but if there's a left back that has the capability to hold the touchline out wide and let Cunha operate more on the inside, then I think that would get the best out of Cunha, to be honest. So I would rather have a left back that can hold the width. Luke Shaw can't really do that. Obviously, Harry Amas is a potential option. He could come back from loan. Obviously, had a very good loan before he got injured. You've got Diego Leon, that obviously we haven't seen much of. Now, I think if Maguire leaves, we will go for a centre-back. But I think right now it will be an attacking left-back, a centre-back if Maguire leaves, but I think Maguire will stay. I think it's a left winger that United want, and two midfielders to replace Casemiro and Agate. We know Casemiro's gone. Agate is also expected to go. Now, I think we need a third for depth if we get UCL. I think we need three midfielders, a left winger, a centre-back, and a left-back if we get UCL. I think we need 6 signings. As of now, United are looking at 2 midfielders, a left winger, and a left-back, which is 4 signings. I think we need 6, if it's going to be honest. But we also do have some really good youth players coming up in Shea Lacey, Jim Thwaites, and JJ Gabriel that definitely have bright futures ahead. Now, we do have something special coming next season. We do have something special, and that is JJ Gabriel. He's the top scorer in the under-18s Premier League. We have something special coming. He can't play this season because he doesn't turn 16 until next season, so he's not eligible to play until next season. I'm not saying he's going to come in and be Lamine Yamal and make an impact straight away. That would be crazy. This is someone for 10 years' time. This is someone for 5 years' time. And even in 5 years' time, he's going to be 20, so he's still going to be incredibly young. But we have a player for the future in JJ Gabriel. We have something special coming that I think will likely make his debut next season. I saw LiveScore post this. 19 starts, 19 goals, 4 assists. 15-year-old playing with people 3-4 years older than him. It's not like he's 18. I mean, if he was 18, that would be mad stats in the league. But he's 15 playing with 18-year-olds, and those are his stats. It's really impressive. We've got that coming through. That is coming in the future. I think that's exciting. But let's actually dive into United's transfer plans. Man United absolutely love Elliot Anderson. One of the things we want to do this summer is bring in a top midfielder. In fact, 2 top midfielders, and I think we need a third for depth, but we haven't heard much about that. Baleba, Wharton, Stiller, Manu Kone, Amadou Onana, Tonali, Burge, Mateus Fernandes, Bergwall, João Gomez, and Mecha are among names we've been linked to in midfield. There was a link the other day, Camavinga, but it really was not credible. Camavinga's injury prone. I don't think you'd want to leave Real Madrid for Manchester United. These are sort of the names that we have been linked to in regards to the midfield. Elliot Anderson is the dream. Elliot Anderson is who we want. If we can't get Elliot Anderson, I hope we go for Sandro Tonali. But again, very difficult to do. I think if we can get Elliot Anderson and we can get Mateus Fernandes as the main 2, I'd be very, very happy. Then the third can just be someone young for depth. We also know that Manchester United want a winger. We've also been linked to Mateus Mane, who is not on this list because I think he's more of a second striker as well, but that could be one to keep an eye on. But then Jai's probably been the most heavily linked because he's prem proven. He is more of a wing fielder, someone that likes to operate on the inside, which would mean we would need that left back that's overlapping. He's also played more on the right hand side this season. That's something to bear in mind, but I do like Iliman and Jai. Kvaratskhelia, PSG could sell if the right offer comes in. He's not been as good for PSG this season, and I still think he's an amazing winger. Yan Diamonde is expected to leave Leipzig this summer. Obviously, he has connections to Vivel. Vivel has connections to RB Leipzig, so that could help United, but there's expected to be a lot of competition for him. And there is talk that Rafael Leao dreams of a Premier League move, although it looks like AC will be back in the Champions League next season. So who knows? But it looks like 2 midfielders and a winger are the priority. Another defender is the priority. Those are the 4 priorities. I think we need 5 or 6 just for depth. But of course, United can't plan too much yet. We have an idea of what we want to do. We have an idea of who we want to sign, but we can't plan too much yet because we don't know who our manager will be. We're not going to make any decisions till nearer the summer, which is fair. So I think there has to be a plan of this is what we would do if Carrick gets it. This is what we would do if this manager gets it. I think there has to be an element of planning that goes into that. But anyway, people, I wanted to do a 10-minute video and be positive about Manchester United and get some positivity in regards to United and what could be to come next season and why we do have reasons to be excited. Of course, PR spin, it glazes. Every time we get excited, we get let down. But yeah, I think it's just one of those where I want us to be positive, talk about what we could expect in the future and why it might be bright. Let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching. Bye.